hearing, the regular meeting on March 16th, 2022. Let the record reflect that the meeting has been called to order at 7:16 p.m. I have a quorum of members of the zoning board, myself, Mr. Waugh, Mr. Mulligan, and Mr. Cole. Excused are Ms. Van Giesen, Ms. Eckholt, and Mr. Todd. Also present at the meeting are the building commissioner of the town, Thomas Evers, and the board secretary, Ms. Faber. We have one meeting on one hearing on the agenda, and that is case number 2170. This is the application of Paul Hemus Properties LLC for a special permit in accordance with General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 6, and also the zoning bylaw, Sections 164-21A, Note 5. The proposed work to be done will result in building coverage exceeding 4,000 square feet. Now, the property is located at 14 Twitchnut Farm Way, Orleans map number 12, parcel number 81, which is in a residential district. If the plans which have been filed with the application show that there a new dwelling and a detached garage barn and a guest house, among other buildings, would be constructed on the pre-existing non-conforming lot. All in all, the plans show that the building coverage would be, well, according to one plan, 6197 square feet, or perhaps 6525 square feet total coverage. This is would be 3.7% of the coverage of the upland area. All in all, the lot contains 167,409 square feet of upland land. The application was filed by Mr. Zender. Let me ask you, though, whether any member of the board has had any communication with the applicant or any of the applicant's agents concerning the application. There's no positive response. Is there any, does any member of the board have any reason to disclose any other fact which ought to be disclosed to the colleagues on the board or to the public, which would constitute a conflict of interest? There's no positive response. Therefore, I declare that the four members of the board are indifferent and impartial. And Mr. Zender, you are present and you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Marnick, and good evening, everybody. And thank you, Mr. Marnick, for making probably 2/3 of my presentation. So I'll make this brief. As the chair stated, this is a pre-existing non-conforming lot. It meets and well exceeds the lot area requirements in town. However, it does not have the requisite frontage. By way of history, this property had 3 dwellings on it. The prior owner of the property, who bought it from the longtime owners of the property, removed the 3 dwellings and then conveyed the property to the Paul Hemus LLC, which immediately applied for and received building permits for 2 dwellings on the property in order to protect that pre-existing non-conforming use of residential use of the property. So, and that bought us some time, and those permits are active at this point. However, they've not been acted on in terms of building. And so what the client has designed is a main house, a barn structure with some habitable space on the 2nd floor, and then a second guest house, or a first guest house. As the board's aware, under your zoning code, when you have 80,000 square feet at least of land area, you can have a second dwelling on a lot, which this property meets. The proposal is fully dimensionally conforming with regard to setbacks. As the chair identified, it's the lot coverage percentage is approximately 3.7%. But under your 164-21A note 5 of your bylaw, when you exceed 4,000 square feet of building coverage, you're required to get a special permit from this board to get that relief. The number sounds big, 6197. However, when you look at the size of the lot and the configuration of the lot and the layout of the lot, it's really not that big a number. As the chair noted, it's 3.7% lot coverage. So there's a significant amount of open space left on this land. It's in a neighborhood of larger homes, which these structures in the compound form fit in well. There's nothing unusual about the design of the homes. There's a nice pool on the main house. I think the design is very pretty. And it certainly is in keeping with the neighborhood as residential use. It won't change the quality of the character of the neighborhood in terms of the density of the neighborhood. It won't generate any undue litter, noise, traffic. So we believe that the project fits in well with both the district objectives and also with the neighborhood itself. And I have on the line with me Sean Riley from Coastal Engineering to answer any plan questions, and John Barker from Polhemus DeSavry on architectural questions, and Aaron Polhemus is here as well to field any questions you might have. And with that being said, we hope that the board sees fit to grant the permit, and thank you.
So what I see here, Mr. Zender, is that the preceding owner, Sherry Florin, purchased subject to a condominium document. So you're going to dissolve the condominium? Apparently the farmhouse, the Red Barn, and the Rock Harbor Barn were the three structures which somehow or other were demolished. So right now you've got vacant land.
Yep, that is true.
And I haven't been favored with the plans of the condominium, but it occurs to me that based on the configuration of the proposed work, the plan showing the proposed site improvements, that you'll be abandoning the condominium.
The answer to that question is yes. As the owner of 100% of the condominium, the LLC has the right to expunge and release the condominium. That involves a land court proceeding, which is somewhat lengthy. So, at some point they will do that. But again, as the holder of 100% of the beneficial interest in the condominium, they have the right to do whatever they want to do with the property.
Okay. That was just housekeeping, and I was kind of curious, because I was trying to, I had to understand how Twitchnot Farm Way proceeded from, I think it's Camp Way. It's, I've been down there a couple of times, and it's rustic.
It is.
Are there any questions by any members of the board?
I do have a question, which is based on the fact that taking a look at the plans, there are going to be 10 bedrooms on that piece of property. So my question basically is this going to be considered a private residence, or is there the possibility that it might turn into some sort of a destination vacation resort, as we have had a problem with in town already? So that's my question. Is it going to be a private residence?
If you don't mind, I'm gonna let Aaron Polhemus answer that question, George. I think I know what the answer is, but I don't want to get ahead of my client. So with the chair's permission.
Yes, please. Mr. Polhemus?
Yeah, for the record, Aaron Polhemus. Excuse me. So the answer to the question is yes, it's going to be a private residence. My family's private residence. We're actually going to live there. So that's the plan.
There is the possibility that with an approval, it might be specifically based on that particular fact to make it easier for our building inspector.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not going to be any type of commercial destination, that's for sure. Yes, it's private residence, single family home with guest house and barn,
Yep.
the living over it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Mulligan?
The only question I have is we usually see a plot plan for where the buildings are located as part of our application. And I don't, it may be there, but I couldn't find it. And a sports court, that's a tennis court with a basketball hoop. Is that what that is?
If that,
You list
I don't
the
know if that's-
sports.
yeah, I don't know if that's still on the plan. Maybe it showed up on that plan, but if it is in the plan, it was just maybe like a pickleball court with, a place for kids to just play. That's all.
Is that just for my own curiosity? Is that included in the coverage figure? Would you do, if you did that? If it's
Not building.
impermeable surface?
Yeah, there's no building coverage figured for that. No, it's just a court with no coverage. Just on the ground.
Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman,
well, we also, we usually have decks and patios and that sort of thing, and not much
Only-
difference, I think,
Only if they're covered.
only if it's covered. Okay, thank you, Tom.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Zender?
we did submit a plan, coastal engineering plan C 2-1, 2.1.1. I can certainly put it up on the screen if the board would like.
No,
That was in there. Here it is.
oh, I didn't get the hard copy.
Okay,
All right, thanks. I'm away. I didn't get the hard copy. Sorry. It wasn't on the digitized copies.
I'm happy to put it up on the screen if the chair wants, so the board can look at it.
I'd be curious to see it. Yeah, please.
With the chair's permission.
that's fine. I have it in front of me, so. Mr. Waugh has it too.
Can the board see this?
Yeah.
Can you, I'm not sure can you see this, Mr. Mulligan?
I can see it. It's pretty small, but I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you could maximize that on your screen, it looks like we're seeing your full
Yeah.
panoramic.
I've got to just move this over a little bit if I can do that, so bear with me. Maybe is that easier for the board to see?
Getting
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
You
so
stop right there.
unfortunately, I can't show the whole lot.
I think
but
right there
this
is good.
Showing, for the board, the main dwelling, I'm circling with my mouse here, the garage barn structures here, and the guest house is down here.
Good. All right. Thank you.
Okay, great.
That plan didn't show a pickleball court, not. that
No, it
I-
doesn't. I'm not sure where it
If
came from.
If
Might
I
have been-
may, Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
So I'm not sure, at one point, there was a plan that we considered a court, but we had taken it off. So the member that had that, I'm not sure how that got out. But no, we do not intend to have a sports court time. So we actually, this is what we're planning on moving forward with, hoping to move forward with. No court.
Thank you.
do you have any further questions, Mr. Mulligan?
No, I don't, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Cole?
No questions, thank you.
Very well. Is there anyone present at this meeting who wishes to speak in favor of this application? No positive response. Let the record reflect that all those individuals or landowners who were entitled to notice under the statute or bylaw were given notice. Now let me ask whether there is anyone present wishing to speak in opposition to the application or wishes to ask questions concerning it.
I would like to ask a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please. Could you identify yourself?
Yes, my name is Kathy Alves and I own property on Snow Shore Road. this might be a uninformed question, so I apologize in advance. But does the building plan, will there be a significant amount of trees taken down for this building? It's an environmental question. I'm not in opposition to any of the structures. I haven't looked at the plan.
Mr. Zender, do you want to respond to that question?
I'd like to refer that, if you don't mind, to Mr. Polhemus. I really don't want to try to answer that question myself.
Sure, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'd be happy to respond. We actually are not planning on taking out a substantial amount of trees. We really like the property, largely the way it is. We appreciate the tree property and many of the mature trees. We intend to save the super majority of the trees on the site. There are a few trees that will be removed, but substantially, we plan on keeping the site and the supermajority of the trees as they are today.
Okay, thank you for that response. As you know, everybody here knows, it's a very wooded area, and that adds to the attraction for living there. So that gave rise to my question. But thank you for responding.
You're welcome.
Ma'am, the application included two large plans, one of which has been partially shown to you during the course of this hearing. The other is a plan C1-2.1 drawn is dated January 20th, 2022, drawn by John McElwee, a professional land surveyor. Now, on that plan, which is the existing site, there is in light legend shows approximately 10 trees, in the center of which, by comparing that to the proposed work, you can determine that about 2 or 3 trees will be removed, but the bulk of the other 7 appear to be the siting of the principal house is within those trees. That includes the pool and the spa and the other side of the house. So that may help you out a little bit. Those plans are available for your inspection at Town Hall, ma'am.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Are there any other questions by anyone wishing to ask the applicant?
I'll move to grant the petition.
Very well. Mr. Mulligan's motion, is there a second?
Second,
Is there any discussion on the motion? There is none, therefore, Ms. Faber, can you call the roll?
Sure. Mr. Cole,
Aye.
Mr. Marnick,
Yeah, aye.
Mr. Mulligan,
Aye.
Mr. Waugh.
yes,
The motion carries unanimously. Without conditions, the special permit will be, the application for a special permit will be allowed. I will write the opinion. If Mr. Zender, if you could forward at the very least, that portion of the application which shows the satisfaction of the criteria under 164-43, that would be really good.
I'm happy to, Mr. Chairman.
Through Ms. Faber, that would be wonderful.
I will
So,
do that.
And that concludes the business for tonight's meeting. Is there any discussion on any other matter that ought to be brought before the meeting?
Move
There
to
is-
adjourn.
And is there a second?
second,
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor by acclamation? Aye.
Uh,
The motion carries. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.